I should be live, but I do not know. If I am live, give me a sign. Okay, it says excellent connection. I'll take that as a fucking sign. So I'm gonna go expel urine. In the meantime, I'll play some tunes, and then we'll get right to it.
Kicking that real shit. That real shit. That underground boy crust. Stink shit. Type shit. For the real heads out there. We got this beat on hold. But it got this feedback in it. And we clip it. Or should I say, we put, take the feedback out. So Commissioner Gordon will have to drop it on you like this.
Fat pigeon, fat pigeon, fat pigeon. Oh yeah, motherfucker. How you been? How you been, audience? How you been? Where you been? The hug's been lonely. How you all been? Me, I could be better, you know. I'm fat again, as you can see. I'm also injured. So, you know, anyone who makes fun of me right now, you're being ableist. And stop it. It's not good. You need to cease with the ableism and start being good. So, like I said, we're gonna get right to it. I have a ton of notes that I could just jump right into. If you have any questions in the chat or via donations, let me know. I'll be reading both, so I'm not just gonna... Why am I gesticulating with this hand? I will be reading both, so if you have, like, anything you want to ask me about this, I'll answer it to the best of my abilities, but, you know, I'm not an insider in the sense that, like, I am a fly on the wall over at Rockstar Games. I feel like a lot of articles that have been quoting me have been kind of misrepresenting me as being, like, you know... Like, as if I'm, like, a developer, or as if, like, I'm fucking someone who is a developer, and I have, like, all the inside info. I don't. I know some people, but, you know, it's, like, friendly acquaintances, I guess you could call them. So I'm just gonna go through some notes, and I just fucked up my notes. Let's see what I did. Okay, nothing. Nice. So. Hello, chat. What happened to the hand? I don't know, I'm stupid. That's about it. So, getting right to it. I've spoken to about 15 people, including someone who actually did play a key role in the development and design of Bully 2. Not just, like, coding, not just animation, but someone who actually did play a fucking big role in how the game was being shaped at the time. Can't name any of these individuals for obvious reasons. That hairline, though, yeah, you should check out my teeth, too. I have fucked up crooked teeth. I have a big forehead, a high hairline, I'm fat. Let's see, what else? I don't know. I'm stupid. That's also one. What else do I have? I don't know. I'll show you this. Hold on. I don't know if you can see this, but I have, like, stitches on my leg. It's actually pretty fucking disgusting. But there you go. I have that. I don't know if that counts. Let's see what else I have. My hand, although, I mean, like, this is not ugly. This is just unfortunate. So, what else do I have? Slightly asymmetrical eyes, I've noticed. But, aside from that, I don't know. I'm not exactly, like, you know, the ideal human, but what I have has allowed me to live 25 years. So I feel like, you know, if I can live 25 years in this mortal coil, good enough. Good fucking enough. I mean, I have it better than some people, so whatever. Back to it, though. Do you want to get back to the thing, or do you want to continue ogling me? You know? Because if so, just tell me. We'll do either. I'm fine. Okay, enough for you at this moment. Fair enough. Vertical slice with roughly 6 to 8 hours of content. That is what they had when the game got cancelled. So a vertical slice, in developer terms, it's basically a demo. It's basically a way for them to show higher-ups, like, hey, here's what we got. This is something that they did several times during the development of Bully 1. They would continuously report back to Rockstar New York, which is actually, I don't know if this is still the case, but according to one of the people that I spoke to, Rockstar New York basically handles everything. Like, they decide what you do as a studio. And they answer to the Hauser brothers, which I guess they did. There's now one. Sam is left, and the other one, Dan Hauser, left. So there's one now, but, you know, at the time, the Hauser brothers were basically the people you had to answer to. And really, the way through which they did that was via feedback from Rockstar New York City. So, to give you an example, you know, the dev kits that I have, at least one of them, I don't recall if both of them have this, but I know one of them has a sticker from Rockstar New York, and I think there's, my guess, I would venture a guess and say it's because they send all the builds over to Rockstar New York City, mainly for playtesting, but also for overall feedback. And that's probably, like, you know, where I got my beta builds from, but I don't know for sure. That's just based on what I've heard. Thank you for the $1, by the way. Let me see who that was. Also, I will be reading the donations that I got way back that I should have done a long time ago. Bradley's Animation Station. Nice. Thank you, Brad. Bradley. Thank you, Bradley. Let's see. Jimmy Hopkins was set to be the protagonist. This time, though, slightly older. Not by much. aged at least 6 months. I will be quoting, I don't just have, like, paraphrasing in this document. I actually have some quotes. So I will be reading those. When I do, I'll let you know. So you'll know, like, okay, what is being rephrased by me, and what is, like, verbatim being quoted. Verbatim. So, same build, overall same appearance, just a bit older. The game took place after the events of the first game, so this time it took place in Jimmy's hometown. For those of you who don't know, although I think you should know by now, Jimmy is not actually from Bullworth. When you show up to the school, like, he doesn't know anyone. No one in the town knows anything about him. So that's just, like, a consequence of him not being from there. So basically, this game was going to take place in his hometown, following the events of the first game. Thank you, TH700R, for the 11 kroner. Thank you. The game took place after the events of the first game. Story beats wise. Here's a quote. So I'm gonna wait for this dono to go through from Diego, aka Funky Monk. I like that name. Thank you for the $4.99. Hope you're doing well, man. Maybe I should just, like, mute the sound effect. What about that? I'll read donations, but I'll mute the fucking sound effect. Is that good? Is that gonna suffice, chat? Is that fine? Or do you prefer something else? Or what? I don't know. Whatever you want to do, chat. Whatever you want to do. Okay, there we go. It should be quiet now. If it's not, then I don't know. I'm stupid. Also, thank you, Jess, for the 99 cents. Hell yeah. I'm getting rich. I'm making bank. Fuck yeah. So, here's a quote. Story beats wise, they already had, I want to say, over 16 missions. The missions that I played were, like, you had to rescue kids from a summer camp, Camp Krusty style. They go on to say, so you had, like, full Native American garb. I don't know if they would do that now. I think that would be kind of in poor taste, personally. But, that was an idea they had. Another quote. It was a lot of unique outfits, similar to the first game. So you could dress up as a Native American chief. You had, like, a tomahawk. That was going to be a weapon. You had boomerangs. They go on to say, here's another quote. They say, there was a bunch of stuff they were experimenting with. Nothing of the sort was final, so working at Rockstar, you had to understand that nothing is final until Sam and Dan say it's final. So, when I mentioned, the system they have with Rockstar New York City, this ties into that. Also, thank you, Z-Man, for the dono. Good to have you back, bro. Hey, ditto. I hope you're doing well. I hope your TikTok adventure is going well. I've thought about making videos on there, but I'm way too out of touch with, like, new websites and shit. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. YouTube, I hate it, but it's good enough for me, I guess. Not really, but fuck me. So, hope you're doing better than me, at least. Let me see. I'm just gonna jump up. I don't want to miss any of these. I'm gonna mark the ones that I've read so I don't read them again, because I've done that before. See, I'm learning. I'm getting better at the streaming shit. I'm just like, mistake that I made before. Not again. Andrew Goes to Hell. That's a cool fucking name. Sounds like, I don't know, like the premise of a dark comedy. That's fucking cool. Stay positive, dog. I fucked up the reading there. Stay positive, dog. I feel like everything we've heard about Bully 2 is already old news. I hope for a day to hear something new. You will. You will. Stay tuned, my friend. And also, thank you for the $5. I hope hell is nice this time of year. So let's see. The game took place during the beginning, between the beginning of fall. No, wait, the beginning of spring until fall. So there was, like, no winter. So for those of you who don't remember, although I think you should if you've played the first game, the game ends with you unlocking this mode called Endless Summer, which is basically like, the seasons don't change now because we haven't programmed them to do so by themselves. So, it's summer forever now. Do all the side quests at your leisure. Do all the shit you missed during the story. Like, whatever you want to do, it's all good. So that's the game picked off from that point. So instead of like, Bully 2 taking place in like a new year and you have winter and all that again, which I would have preferred personally, you had the game taking place between spring and fall. I don't know how the game would have like really progressed in that sense, because I feel like it would have kind of dragged out a bit. Especially like considering the impression that, players would have been given by the first game, where it's like, okay, you have these different seasons and you have Halloween and all this cool shit. None of that stuff. That just doesn't fucking happen. So, would have preferred that, but apparently not. By the way, I am speaking of a canceled port. I will be commenting on the other Bully 2 momentarily. I suck. Hey, you're still here. You suck, you suck, you suck. You fucking suck. You suck. Let's see. Some things looked better in the vertical slice than they looked in Red Dead Redemption 2. This is something that I was actually kind of surprised by. There were things, according to one of the people that I spoke to, that actually did look better in the vertical slice for Bully 2 than in Red Dead Redemption 2, which I don't really understand how, given the fact that it's like... Fucking, like, Red Dead Redemption 2, it came out, like, in, the end of 2018? So there's, like, a 5-year gap between these two games, but at the same time, it's like, it's only 5 fucking years. How can it look that much better? Especially if it... whatever. Apparently that was the case. They were referring to, like, foliage, like trees, fucking plants, grass. I know grass is something they mentioned in the Game Informer article. It just had like some kind of like next gen shit, where like each individual blade was its own fucking thing or something. I don't know. To me, that sounds cool from like a tech demo perspective, but as far as like gameplay goes, I don't see how that would have changed anything. Like maybe lawn mowing would have been more responsive, but I don't know. To me, that seems more like a cool idea somebody had for attention to detail that just like, if I were to bet any money on this, like if the game actually comes out eventually, I would not expect this to be in the game at all. But who knows? Who the fuck knows? Loser? Yeah, I concur. The dodgeball was set to return as an Easter egg. Basically like a weapon you can unlock by performing some kind of achievement thing. Which is kind of cool, because like there's a lot of stuff you can unlock in Bully, but I feel like the achievements were just kind of like detached from it. Granted, the achievements were an afterthought. Bully came out on the PS2, and then way later you have the Scholarship Edition. So, But yeah, the dodgeball was going to return, which is kind of interesting, because you'll notice this as I go on. There's some stuff... There's a lot of stuff in this document that I've written down that were gonna make appearances in the original game, but ended up not being in the original game. Like, okay, so if you've gone through like the audio files in Bully 1, you'll notice that there's a lot of unused voice lines, especially used by Jimmy or unused by Jimmy. This includes talking to dogs, so you could have, like, interacted with them more than just kicking them and running from them. You could have actually, like, spoken to them, positively, or in a negative way. You could have been rude or nice to dogs. Likewise, in this game, you could have actually befriended dogs. I don't know if befriended would have entailed the same thing you do when you, like, give somebody a gift in the first game. Like, hey, have some flowers. Have some flowers, or have a box of fucking chocolate, or have some money. When you give somebody a gift, usually they follow you, unless they're like fucking what do you call it? They're like they're robbing you, whatever. They're like fucking pressuring you to give them something so they leave you alone. But yeah, I don't know what befriend would have entailed. I assume it would have been something akin to the bodyguard system in the first game, but fuck me if I know. Most, if not all, outfits from the first game were going to be unlockables at the end of the game. Now, from what I hear, this could have been, like, either all or most of them. So, hence my phrasing there. I don't know definitively, like, if they planned all of them, because that seems like a hefty fucking task to overtake. I mean, like, there's a lot of clothing in the first game. Just outfits alone, there's a lot of that. So I don't know if they would have gone that far, but that's an idea they had, at least. Of course, some of these outfits, they were going to look a bit different. So, a bit updated, a bit more of the style of Bully 2. So basically, like, what Rockstar has done when it comes to, like, unlockable outfits that reference other games. You recognize the style, you recognize the color scheme. Okay, think about, like, Claude Speed's outfit from GTA 3 and GTA 4. A bit like that, I would imagine. Let's see. The way people brainstormed for Bully 2 was interesting. Everyone got about 30 pages to write down ideas and concepts they wanted to see in the game. So, if you worked on the first game, this would have been really exciting, because it's like, whoa, I'm actually being given, like, this voice now. I can actually, like, take all of these fucking cool ideas that I had for the first game, or that I've just had for a second game, and I could just, like, pour them into this, and hopefully, some of them make it, and some of them were gonna make it. It's really unfortunate, because it seems like the more I fucking go through the interview that I had... By the way, the interview, I should fucking give some context. There is one interview that I have, which is recorded. However, I do not have permission to release the audio. I can quote... I think they actually did give me, like, permission to show, like, clips, but muted clips from the actual interview. So, yeah, we were, like, in a Google Hangout call. So I'm gonna get back to them on that and see if I can release anything, any, like, excerpt or something, but who the fuck knows. Yeah, I can release, like, screenshots of the actual interview. And I can quote it verbatim, but I can't, like, upload the audio fully. And I do think, like, there's some stuff in the interview that they would prefer me not to say, shit that would specify, like, exactly who this is. There's no gameplay because this dude is lying as fuck. What do you fucking expect? Do you think, like, I'm just gonna, like, hocus pocus a fucking bully2.exe out of thin fucking air on, like, a USB memory stick and just be like, hey, check this out? Like, get fucking real. Come on, dude. Like, I'm a YouTuber. What do you think? Do you think, like, I have access to fucking, like, files only Rockstar has access to? Okay, sure, when I do, I'll be the first to let you know, but until then, you can suck my dick, okay? Let's see what else we have. Oh, actually, speak of the devil. Here's a quote. If it exists on a hard drive and no one's looking at it. And if they improve upon it, you'll be able to see it from the reveals, if they have something. And if they built on it from code that they reworked possibly after they did RDR2 stuff. So let's see. At this point in development, by the way, when I say at this point, I mean, like, circa 2013. At this point in development, they had not finished work on the beginning or the ending. The game had essentially, the game was essentially one big sandbox demo, with a ton of experimenting going on. So, another quote. The middle part of the most important game loops were there. So, a lot of the key functions in the game were essentially finished, or at least, sufficiently there to the extent that it's like, okay, it's playable. Again, this is not really them presenting something finalized. This is a demo, essentially. So let's see. THR700R. TH700R. Sorry. Thank you for the 109 Swedish kroner. Thank you kindly. Hey. Based TH700R. Hell yeah. I really appreciate that. Rexa, $1. Stay strong, SWEGTA. Sending loves from Saudi Arabia. Sorry, I'm a bit mush-mouthed. I do have my Bully branded mug to keep me nourished. Somebody's gonna be like, "There's alcohol in that." It's like, no, it's water. it's water. Thank you, Rexa, for the $1, and love right back at you, all the way from Sweden to Saudi Arabia. Nerds need love too. I think I recognize that reference. Nice. Thank you for the £2. Thank you kindly. Jake Johnson, the Based, the OG. He's been around for ages, and he's probably gonna continue to be around for a long time. Yeah, Yeah, I know I'm fucking ugly. I know I've got a bad fucking hairline and a big forehead and all that. Like, I see my... Dude, I am unfortunate enough to see myself in my own reflection, like, daily. Like, I know. So, we're good on that. Alright? Anyway, thank you, Jake Johnson, for the $5. I want end me right now. Hey, you and me both. But, please don't end anything, Jake. The Last Fish Supper. £5. Follow the money. Seems reasonable to me. I mean, like, hey, capitalism. Gotta do what you gotta do. Thank you, Last Fish Supper. Delicious. I also have, like I said, some donations I'm gonna get to later that I got prior to the broadcast. I said I'd respond to them, so I will. Okay, so some more points. Go-kart races, you had that. You had lawnmower minigames. This time, a bit more detailed. So basically, like, if you've seen the leaked screenshots, or not screenshots, the leaked art from Bully 2, and according to the developer, most of these are actually real. They said most, so I don't know if all of them are. Kind of makes me wonder, like, how many of them are fake, possibly, but according to them, like, the vast majority of them, at least, are real. So if you look at them, you can see that there's, like, a really, like, vibrant visual style to it. This is, of course, like, well, the way they put it was Americana summer vacation style. They go on to say, the world was super vibrant, super green, almost the opposite of the gray look of the first game. A lot of the concept art is real. Here's another quote. Whatever leaked from Mad Doc, that shit was all realized in this vertical slice. They also had beekeeper missions, which gave you immunity to bee stings and allowed you to use beehives as weapons. I imagine this is something you would do when evading enemies. Because, like, I don't see this being used as, like, an inventory item. I think this is, like, you're running from someone, you fucking somehow, tip over a fucking beehive, and the bees think the guy behind you did it or something. I don't fucking know. Anyway, beekeeper missions, for some reason. By the way, like I said, these were all, like, ideas that were being put into the game during the building process of a vertical slice. So a lot of this shit was just, like, experimental. Like, okay, I guess I'll go on. I'll give you some more examples. You also had a bow and arrow with a plunger at the end of it. So what you'll notice is, like, some of these ideas sound like they rely on a physics engine, and that's because, that's what they were testing at the time. They wanted to build something really different from what they had done prior. So if you look at, like, Max Payne 3, you'll notice, like, the glass is really fucking responsive. In the sense of, like, you shoot it, the whole thing doesn't fucking shatter. Like, there's it breaks, but there's, like, cracks in it. There's, like, parts that fall off. So the physics engine was going to be a pretty fucking big thing in this game, actually. As you know, like, the first game has a really basic physics engine. Like, you can pick up some objects and throw them, and it's really simplistic, and that's about it. This was going to really up the ante on that, and have it actually play a role in combat to some extent. The game stuck close to the original game violence-wise. There was an attempt, yet again, at pushing the limits of the T rating. Now, this is my assumption. This is totally, like, my speculation, but I would assume that this was another attempt on the part of Rockstar at, like, recapturing the publicity the first game got, because, as a lot of you know, the first game was kind of like a big fucking deal. Most people don't remember it now, but you did have protests. You did have people attempting to ban the game before they even knew what the fuck the game was really about. So I feel like maybe they were, like, attempting to, like, recapture some controversy that would later on, again, like the first time around, vindicate them. So as a lot of you remember, the accusations made at Rockstar Games, primarily, yes, you guessed it, chat, primarily by the likes of Jack Thompson. Basically everything they said would happen didn't happen, And basically everything they said about the game turned out to be wrong. And none of them, not a single fucking one, as far as I've seen ever, and I've looked into this many a times, not a single one of them owned up to that. Like, oh, well, I guess, like, the claim that I made about this being a school shooting simulator was a bit, much. Okay, fair enough. Not a single motherfucker owned up to any of this shit. So, yeah, that's kind of annoying, but whatever. I'm guessing Rockstar wanted to, like, kind of reignite some backlash from, like, that general crowd, like the Jack Thompsons and the Peaceaholics and all that, and the BBC. Although I think the BBC never really targeted Rockstar. They did make that fucking docudrama that took, like, an awkward, like, fence-sitting stance on it. They're like, well, Jack Thompson was in the wrong, but at the same time, maybe somebody did kill someone because of the video games. It's like, what kind of, like, middle ground bullshit is this? Like, fucking, like, shut up. Dude, no wonder fucking Rockstar's Twitter page fucking dissed BBC after that. I wish they would do that again. That was cool. They go on to say, here's a quote. We would automatically have to give feedback on if something was overtly, like, compared to the other games, was it overtly sexualized, violent, or all that other stuff? So basically what they're saying is, like, there was continuous communication going on regarding, like, okay, well, is this too much? Have we taken things too far? Is this something we can get away with? And if you've read the Game Informer article, I don't recall all of them. I'm fucking stupid, man. I should have that up on my monitor, but I don't. When setting up the broadcast, I guess, like, at some point I just went, duh, and I forgot about it, so it's not there now. But, yeah, if you want to check it out, there's a Game Informer article that mentions a few interesting things. It mentions Jimmy's fucking groin, so there's that. You can read up on that if you like, if that's your cup of tea, for whatever fucking reason. Scrolling down. Let's see, Daryl the Goat, $1.99 super chat. What do you think about Korn's new album? Total aside, but I do like your thinking. I've actually not checked it out yet. So, like, with me and Korn, I have, like, a love-hate relationship. I love them sometimes, but then, I get, bored of them fairly quickly. So, it's like one of those bands that I keep going back to occasionally. But when I do, I will check out the album. I did check out the fucking song they put out. I think it was, like, the first single. I assume you mean The Nothing, the album, The Nothing. I don't know. If they put out, like, another one, it's totally unbeknownst to me, but the single, I found it to be kind of too formulaic and standard. So I feel like Korn has, like, a really cool fucking experimental side that I wish they would explore a bit more. But yeah, thank you. 2013 Infinity G37. It's a cool name. Just the Tip. Thank you for the $1.99. I assume that's the tip of something huge. Thank you. Adam Knut, or Adam Knuth? I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, so I apologize if I messed it up. Keep up the real bully truth. Will do. Thank you. I'll do my best. It's the first time you've seen my face. I apologize. I broke my hand. I don't have, like, any images I can put up, and if I do, it's just gonna be like a still image. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll show myself. I don't know. I'm really fucking sorry. Okay. Here's something that I found really fucking cool. So I'm gonna be jumping around a bit between different points. So, you know how, like, Sean Lee mentioned that he was going to work on the soundtrack for Bully 2? He said this, like, around 2008, 2009. That was actually the case. I don't know if, like, how far they had him work on it, like, how long. But they did have an alternate version, like a stripped-down version of what I think is the main walking theme. The person that I spoke to hummed it, and it didn't quite sound like anything in the game. But I'm assuming it's the walking theme, because it's like, okay, well, that's, like, the most standard thing you can put in the game as a placeholder. So it seems like Sean Lee was gonna work on it. I can't definitively say that, but that's the impression I was given, because I did ask, like, specifically, like, was Sean Lee gonna do anything with this? And considering that they did have, like, one of his songs, even if it's, like, a placeholder, I mean, like, it makes more sense that they would bring him back anyway. So the music system at this point was really bare bone. See, I guess I'll give you some more quotes. Here's a couple. It was gonna be cool. It was fucking cool. In terms of people that played a fully realized, like, this is the vertical slice, like, that was ready. So basically they're saying, they had something ready that would have taken people by fucking surprise. Now, of course, you can't just like release, a demo or a vertical slice, whatever you want to call it. You have to, release a full game. But if this thing ever fucking leaks, I think, like, even I, as someone who has a bit of insight into, like, what it was like, my mind will be fucking blown. Cliques were going to be called factions, apparently. Now, this could be just confusion. Okay, so I'll explain. So the first game, if you go through the game files, you'll notice that, like, the cliques in the game are referred to as factions. So basically, factions are different PED groups in the game. So PED being pedestrian, that's like NPCs in the game. So all of these different factions determine the behavior of said PED. So if you have, like, a character and you assign them to be the faction Shopkeep, which is a faction in the first game, they will behave, or at least be considered, a homeless person or a drunk or a shopkeeper in the game. This faction affects, these PEDs that way. So if you go through the files and you change, like, a PED from being a prep to a shopkeep, you'll see him around, like New Coventry, because usually that's where, where the vagabonds congregate. Prefects were going to be a faction. I wish I asked them a bit more about factions, but I didn't. I had a very limited amount of time, and I was just going through, like, bullet points, because not every single person you speak to about these kind of things, they have shit to do. They have businesses to run and shit. And if you talk to them about, like, something that happened, like, fucking 9 years ago, or, like, between, like, 11 and 9 years ago, it's interesting to talk about, especially if you played a key role, but it's not something that, like, you really prioritize that heavily, I would imagine. Let's see. So, something else that they mentioned regarding factions, how you interacted with factions during missions would affect the factions to the extent that you could actually get kicked out of one if they upset you enough, or if you upset them enough. So, like, I don't know if this was limited to missions, or if, like, if you just pick on someone enough, eventually the entire gang's like, hey, fuck off. But at least, like, mission-wise, that would have affected your standing with various factions in the game, like the first game, but more detailed. Here's a quote, and this one kind of, like, addresses this a bit. It sounds super technical, but it really wasn't. It was just a script that said, if X, then Y, if Z, then you're fucked, and you get kicked out of the script. It caused a lot of problems early on, and the vertical didn't have it fully fleshed out, but yeah, there was a faction system, there was a remembrance system, and there was a sort of light Mass Effect style choice of good versus evil, your playthrough style. So, I think that would have been kind of interesting, because I always felt like the faction system in Bully was kind of underutilized. I mean, it plays a role in basically every mission you do, but you know what I mean. Like, if it actually played a bit more of a role outside of missions, to the extent that it's like, okay, individually, like, each character you interact with will actually, like, reflect the faction itself. So if you pick on one character more than any other, it kind of makes sense for the entire clique to eventually be like, hey, can you, like, lay off? And, respect goes down. I think that would have made more sense than the really simple system Bully had. Like I said, the music system was bare bones at this point, so it reused assets from the first game. So another person that I spoke to about this, and I spoke to a total of 15 people. These all played, different roles in development. Most of these quotes come from someone who played a key role, but some of these quotes are from other people. A lot of this stuff is shit that I asked them about, and then I went on to ask the other developers about too. Anyway, one of the people that I asked, they expressed a strong doubt in the prospect of Bully 2 as far as like this version of the game. So when it comes to like all of the shit that I mentioned now, they don't think it's gonna happen, but they went on to say that, and this is paraphrasing by the way, they said that they believe Rockstar's bread and butter is fixing Red Dead Online and maintaining GTA Online whilst making GTA 6, which, I mean, that's a given. They did, however, add that they think there will be something Bully-related eventually. So my guess is basically everything that they've said so far is just going to be like either scrapped or built upon. So we'll see which. I don't imagine that a lot of this stuff would make it, because it feels like, why go back fucking like... Jesus, I'm dumb. 9 years. Why go back fucking 9 years to, like, see what you had on the fucking drawing board back then when you can just totally reinvent the game? Because, I mean, like, at this point, I think they have to. And I think this is why it's taken them so long. It's because, like, you can't just go back to a build you had in fucking, like, 2012 and be like, okay, well, we'll just pick off where we left off there. You have to actually do something that you basically have to be guided by the standards of the time, and you really can't do that if you're limited to like, okay, we're just gonna resume developing something we did fucking like almost a decade ago. And I think we've seen this with like other games by Rockstar too, because like games have been canceled and then brought back. It happens every so often. Table Tennis 2. I meme on it a lot. I make a lot of jokes about it, but at the same time, I do think there has to be somebody out there who's like a diehard Table Tennis 2 fan. And, when they see the memes, they die a little inside, because they know. Agent, yeah. They know that, like, to me, to you, the audience, to a lot of us, table tennis is a fucking meme. But, to fucking one person out there, and you know who you are if you're watching this. It's the real thing. It's like a hidden gem. It's the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread and, your mom's ass. So let's see. Similar to the first game, you'd lose all your stuff if you were caught by the police. Here's something that I was really taken back by. So, Pete Kowalski was set to make a return. So were most of the Bulworth Academy faculty, although this time they would, because the game took place in summer, they would basically just be on their time off, and if you hung around them long enough, they would basically tell you, like, hey, Jimmy, go, get lost. I thought that was kind of cool. The person that I spoke to called this an Easter egg, which, I mean, I guess it kind of is. It's a reference, at least. So yeah, that was kind of cool. The main, I'm quoting, by the way, the main line girlfriends. So I assume that's like, Mandy, Beatrice, Zoe, Lola, Pinky, I think. They were going to be in the game as well. There were also going to be allusions, not, anything that would really confirm this, but there were going to be like slight hints here and there of Gary Smith being the one pulling the strings throughout the story. Though it seems as though this was never like fully decided upon. Many other main characters were also going to make appearances. I don't know who, but the way they put it, basically like anyone that played a big role in the first game. Which, to me, this is fucking heartbreaking, honestly. Like, the fact that they had all of these fucking ideas, and the fact that they had people from the original game working on this game, and actually, like, bringing all of these cool ideas to it, and then for all of it to just get fucking cancelled. I mean, this would have been like, considering everything Rockstar has done, this would have been like the best form of fan service you can imagine. Because it just brings everything back and it cranks it up to like fucking 10, and like there are so many connections. Like, unlike the GTA series where, like, you know, you have like references here and there, usually in like the GTA series there's no line between each game. There's like, you know, hints, and then from there on, you know, you can draw conclusions and infer a lot of things, but there's no like definitive like, hey, this character is coming back. You know, in GTA 5 you had a bit of that. You had fucking Johnny Klebitz from GTA 4 making an appearance, and you had, you know, some other stuff too, like a few little things here and there, but nothing story-wise to the extent that it's like, okay, wow, the sidekick is now back. Okay, a love interest is now coming back. Or like the main antagonist might be back. Who knows? You know, like nothing like that. And it kind of befuddles me why Rockstar hasn't done that yet, because I feel like it makes sense. Like, yeah, Packy in GTA 5, but I mean, like, that's like a side character who, I played through GTA 5, and the first time I did, I had no idea he was in the fucking game. So I got to the end of the game, and I never met him. So, you know, it's like that. It's like, I appreciate, you know, his cameo being an optional side thing, but at the same time, it also feels like there's nothing that goes beyond, like, Johnny Klebitz in GTA 5, you know? Just my opinion. What do I know? Let's see. Lennox GFX, $1.99 via Super Chat. Are you excited? Rockstar announced GTA 6 finally. I mean, like, I knew it would happen eventually. I am excited in the sense that, like, you know, finally I have something that I can, like, actively report on again. I mean, like, this Bully 2 thing, I can do that, but it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, pester the fucking devs over and over again for more info? Like, you know, at some point, you have to just, like, accept what you've been given and just say, like, okay, this is cool, I got some insight. You know, a lot of people are not gonna believe me, I know that. You know, if I wanted to, I could fucking prove everything by fucking posting the audio of the interview, but by doing so, I would be totally betraying someone who has given me quite a lot of trust, given the fact that they don't know me personally at all. And, you know, this is someone who I've also spoken to about, like, the video game industry in general, and they seem like a cool person, and if I were to do this, I would definitely fuck up their career. So I don't know how. I mean, like, I would get credibility out of it, but at the same time, I'd be like stabbing someone in the back royally for no good fucking reason. So between like being a decent fucking person and not betraying their trust, and betraying their trust for my own fucking gain, I'll just not do that. I'll just fucking stick to my promise. Yeah. Is this a man homeless? I mean, I'm living in a place now, but I mean, I do kind of, I should be, if we're being honest. Like, objectively speaking, I really should be. Anyway, as I was saying, classes were replaced by jobs. So instead of classes, you had jobs. One idea that one of the devs had was summer classes or summer school. I don't know what you would call it in the US. I'm Swedish, so, you know, hence me speaking kind of funny. But yeah, one idea that one of the devs had was summer school. So this ended up being scrapped, mainly because at the time there was no way of tracking the grades you got in the first game in the second game. So, like, let's say you passed all English classes in the first game, and then, you know, you play the second one, and it's like, oh, summer school, which the name alone is kind of tedious. But on top of that, it's like, okay, summer school. Now you have to do English 1 again, because, you know, there's no way, because, you know, at the time, you know, bear in mind, like, the original Bully came out on the PS2, then you had, you know, the Xbox 360, PC, Wii, you know, there was really no way to reliably carry over all the progress from the first game, especially when you jump so drastically from one engine to the other. nowadays, I don't know. Like, I think now you could do it. I mean, there's got to be some fucking way. There's got to be some way of reading, that data and fucking translating that into like, okay, if X, then Y. Makes sense to me, but I don't know. I'm not a game dev. I know a bit about coding. Like, I've modded, but, and I have an education in fucking computer science, but I don't know, like, how daunting of a task this would be. But, compared to now, back then, that was really fucking difficult. If not impossible. So what's the useful thing we're getting instead of Bully 2 you mentioned in your community post? It's something that, like I said, it's not Bully 2 related, it's Bully 1 related. I'll put it this way, it's a tool that I think is going to change a lot and will open up the doors to a lot of potential. And if the community is willing to embrace it, then I think a lot of really fucking cool things can come out of it. Bully speedrun later, maybe. Not today. For one, it's hot as fuck inside, despite it being February. I glanced at the clock. I'm like, what month is it? Oh yeah, February. Jesus. Man, I'm fucking embarrassing. Holy shit. Bully mod menu? Fuck no. A bully mod menu will be nothing compared to this. Dude, I feel like Gary, it's like, things will never be the same again. It's gonna fucking blow minds. It's gonna be amazing. So, let's see. I mean, like, I have some more notes, but I feel like I'm gonna save those for a properly edited video where I just go through point by point, because this is a bit rambly. I will be making a video that, goes into a bit more detail and provides more quotes. But yeah. So, I wanted to touch a bit on Bully 2, and I mean, like, the other Bully 2. The one that Tom Henderson mentioned. So, according to Tez 2, there doesn't seem to be really much of a sign of Bully 2 happening. According to Tom Henderson, there is, and people have pressed him on that. He's sticking by his fucking story, and unlike most people, Tom Henderson does have, I would say, a mostly reliable track record. I'm not gonna go all out and say, like, he's just, whatever he says goes, because Tom knows. I don't know how much Tom knows. I will say that following Tom Henderson's tweet, I immediately contacted most of my sources, not all of them. I'm not in touch with all of them at this point, for various reasons, but, I spoke to most of them, and according to the people that I spoke to, there is a build in the making. A vertical slice, if you will. I wanted to, like, not use that term again, because I'm like, I feel like I've said that too many times in this broadcast, but a vertical slice nonetheless. So, a vertical slice exists. I don't know how far that's going to go. This would not be the first time the game gets canceled, if it gets canceled again. Not just considering the shit that I mentioned, but if I were to, like, bet any money on this, I would bet my money on Bully 2 being canceled at least twice. So there is a vertical slice. There is a studio, at least, working on it. See, the problem is, with Rockstar games, there's always going to be a bigger fish. There's always going to be a bigger project they can focus on. And, we're not living in the 2000s at this point. So, a lot of the shit that they would have done in the 2000s, like, hey, let's maybe do, like, a sequel or a spin-off to, like, Max Payne or Manhunt. Like, a lot of that shit, that's not how they operate now. And a lot of that is because of Take-Two Interactive. Believe it or not. I know a lot of people love to blame Rockstar, but a lot of the decision-making is straight from Take-Two Interactive. And until Rockstar games can become independent, I don't know how they would do that. But until that happens, it's unfortunately going to remain the case. I feel like they need to add microtransactions for Bully 2 to make sense. I don't know how they do that. I mean, they could have, like, an online mode and be like, oh, here's, if you want to have access to, like, all this exclusive gear, you can buy a fucking hall pass. Like, they could do something like that. Or, like, hey, what the fuck? What would, like, the equivalent of a gold bar be? I don't know. You'll buy a fucking like decal sticker for your bike or some shit. Who fucking knows? Some bullshit. It just has to like vaguely fit the tone of the game. It's depressing, but unfortunately that's the way it is. Yeah. Good old capitalism. I love it. Gold bottle cap. Maybe. Jawbreakers. I always felt like fucking Bully was a bit reminiscent of Ed, Edd and Eddy. Like, it's like Napoleon Dynamite, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Karate Kid, fucking I don't know, there's a ton of stuff like from the 80s too that the film, the game references. Rockstar has over 2,000 employees and 10 studios. I think they have 9, technically, or like 9 subsidiaries. I could be wrong about that. 10 studios, they should be splitting everyone into teams if over 2,000 people. That's usually the way they do it, actually. So the way they've been working on this game is by assigning smaller studios that they feel can handle this kind of thing to work on it. So if they have like a studio that they feel is more apt for, say, animation or playtesting, then they'll do that. They'll assign a studio to specifically that job. It just makes more sense. But as a consequence of that, you do actually hinder a lot of experimentation. You do actually inhibit people from really like fully pushing the ideas they want to try. So if somebody has like an idea for Bully 2 and, you know, they have a basis for it, and the studio as like a side thing, they've managed to like put together a demo somehow, then, you know, you would probably want them to like show that to higher ups and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Is this a good thing? Should we do this? The problem though is things are really strict over at Rockstar, at least right now. So I'll give you a bit of context. So when people were working on Bully, the original game, the setting around the office was a bit different. So they were acquired by Rockstar Games either early on in development or like just as they were about to begin development on Bully 2 or Bully, sorry. And when that happened, like almost instantaneously, they had higher ups showing up and, you know, talking to them, explaining that like, okay, you know, yeah, office culture is not going to change all that much. It did. It definitely did. As a result, office morale kind of went to shit. But, you know, a lot of people pushed through, and eventually they did finish the game, you know, to positive reception, and the game sold pretty well. I do recall somebody out there making an article at some point where it's like, you know, here's why Bully 2 is not going to happen, and they mentioned poor sales. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The game made pretty good money, and it actually allowed them to kind of bridge the gap a bit between GTA SA and fucking GTA 4, so I don't know what they're talking about. It made sense financially at the time for them to make Bully, and I think right now it doesn't make sense financially, but I think it makes sense PR-wise. You have to bear in mind, like right now, Rockstar Games is totally in the shitter PR-wise. So the best thing they can do right now is give fans what they want, and that's what they're attempting to do. I say attempting, and I'm using that term somewhat loosely, because basically what it amounts to is like a blog post. They're like, oh, you know, we've listened to fan feedback, and we understand that you have concerns, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fine and dandy, but like, show us the fucking, you know, the meat and potatoes. Give us the fucking good shit. Like, you know, back in the fucking day, believe this or not, Rockstar would actually give exclusive content, promotional content to like fan sites. The first Bully fan site that ever existed was given like, you know, they had like correspondence with Rockstar where like, you know, they would talk about the game and like cool shit they had planned for it and stuff. You know, some GTA fan sites were given like exclusive screenshots from San Andreas and shit. Like, this is the kind of stuff like that. They don't do any of this anymore, and it's really unfortunate because I think that not only is this a good way to build up publicity, because I mean, like, you know, you're continuously like giving people little like nuggets of taste, And that's going to maintain interest, although I don't think Rockstar really needs that, and they don't have to do this, but I think it's a good thing to do, but it's primarily good to do because, and this is the second reason, it builds trust with the community. It shows that they actually recognize and pay attention to a lot of these fan sites. What they've done as of late, and by they, I mean, Take-Two on either their behest or just on Take-Two's behest, what's happened recently is mostly just like people getting fucking sued into oblivion for modding, or people, fucking Take-Two representatives contacting like Rockstar Intel. Me personally, I prefer calling them Rockstar Incel because I have like the fucking maturity of a 13-year-old, but they do shit like contact Rockstar Intel and like demand that they change their fucking logo because it's like, oh, well, it's too similar to the official Rockstar logo, and given the name, it's like, we all know Rockstar Intel is a fucking fan site. We all know it's a fan site that just like basically archives fucking promotional blog posts written by Rockstar. Occasionally, there's like an opinion piece or something, but for the most part, it's like, okay, here's a new GTA Online update. Here's, the new screenshots from fucking Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a site that actually has functionality as far as, like, Rockstar's promotion goes. Like, these are people basically giving Rockstar free promotion and managing a part of their fucking community. And in return, it's like, oh, well, your logo is a bit too akin to the one we use. So, yeah, you're gonna have to change that, and, in the absence of any change, you will be sued. Like, this is not the type of shit they would do back in the day, at least to my knowledge. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a fairly fucking recent development, and this is something that I think is pretty fucking unfortunate. So yeah, I will say this, Bully 2 is in the making, although I'm not gonna really count on it happening. I'm not gonna count on them announcing it anytime soon, because, well, first off, GTA 6, so it just makes more sense for them not to announce anything else right now. But following GTA 6, possibly, it depends. I think, following GTA 6, you have to have something else, I feel. I'm not a marketing fucking genius, I mean, I'm pretty fucking dumb in general, but, like, as far as I can tell, I think it just, like, makes more sense to have something in between so that you have some variety. You definitely want to fucking avoid allowing GTA and Red Dead Redemption to, like, fall into the same trap that a lot of these other contemporary huge titles fall into, where it's like, Call of Duty. It's like, well, how many fucking Call of Duty games have they made? And yeah, they all make money, but, releasing them as frequently as they are released is actually to, like, the detriment of the brand, and is like, at, the detriment of the company behind it. It's not good fucking PR. It's cashing in as quickly as possible, and I know Rockstar has been doing that a lot with GTA Online. So, all things considered, if they do the same thing with GTA 6, 7, 8, 9, Red Dead Redemption 3, 4, 5, I think eventually people will just lose interest. And considering that they have, like, 2 huge titles right now, and the rest of them have been, like, they've all been, not all, but, like, most of them have been successful. Most of them have at least, like, made more money than they cost. Considering that, it just makes more sense for them to at least spend some time, occasionally, ever so fucking slightly, investing some time in developing something other than GTA 6 or Red Dead Redemption 3. Like, there has to be something in between, I feel. So what I'm hearing is no table tennis. I mean, whatever. Can somebody like slap Grim Reaper across the fucking face? I've been seeing this person snoring in my chat for like a fucking hour. Like, dude, wake up. Grab a brush and put on some makeup. Do whatever you gotta do. Like, slap yourself in the balls. Whatever you gotta do to stay awake. I'm gonna go ahead and read some more donos, but I will be reading more chat messages in a moment. So, Greatest Within gave $1.99 via Super Chat and said, thoughts on GTA 6 tweet from Rockstar, rip Bully 2. So basically my thoughts, and I'll summarize them. My thoughts on this announcement, and it's not really much of an announcement in my view. Like, it's them saying, like, yes, what you've been wanting and what you've thought was gonna happen for a long time is eventually gonna happen. Like, fucking what? Specifically, what are you doing? Like, oh, there's a new entry in the GTA series that we're excited to update you on. Well, fucking do it now then. Like, why not now? Now would be like an ideal time, especially given the fucking backlash you got regarding Save Red Dead Online. Like, does it not, like, one fucking image, just give us something. Give us, like, a fucking, you know, here's a in-game screenshot of, like, the main protagonist's nutsack. Like, anything, you know? But no, it's like, we'll update you on that soon enough. There's a spider behind you on the door. Fuck you, James. Alright. So but as far as like Bully 2 ties into it, I would have preferred a Bully 2 announcement, but I had a feeling GTA 6 was going to take priority. Michael Jackson is dead? Sad face? I mean, what? What fucking decade do you reside in, good sir? I show speed, stupid grandma. I show speed, stupid grandma. Donated $2 and said, "Hey, Swegger. Hey." That's with a hard R at the end. Don't say that. Okay, I'll permit it this one time. "Hey, Swegger. Why does your hair look like an 8-year-old? My hair? I don't know, it does. That's what it is, you know? I've thought about, like, shaving my head, but I don't know. I feel like I need, like, a better jawline for that. You feel me? You feel me? Nah mean? Nah sin? Also, please act like Tyler 1. Like, just scream, yell, and act stupid, Lamau. Good luck, Holmes. I'm not gonna fucking scream and yell like a moron. Well, occasionally I do, but that's like ADHD or something. I don't know what that is. But thank you. How do you say Nike or Nike? I say Nike. Nike dude donated $2.15 via Super Chat and said, "Not much, but I wanted to show my support." Hey, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good one, Nike dude or Nike dude. Christian Luna gave $2 via Super Chat. Thank you, Chris. Mr. Luna, Mr. Anderson. Why am I staying quiet on the upcoming tool? Because I haven't been given permission to reveal it yet. I don't know about you, but to me that seems like a decent reason not to, like, immediately spill the beans on that and be like, "Hey, guess what?" You know, I have been given permission to tease it, and it is pretty fucking cool. I will say that. It is going to be useful, but I'm not going to reveal it right away. I'm going to wait until the people behind it are, like, ready. Until, you know, they're fucking, you know, leg open, ready. But until then, I'm not going to do anything. I forgot the stigma. Stigma these nuts. Have I played the beta of Bully 2? I have not. I have played multiple late pre-release versions of Bully Scholarship Edition. I've done that. Thoughts on Bosnia? It's cool. When am I going to start making videos again? Soon. I just moved in to this place. So, I got my PC set up. Got most of my shit set up. My computer is fucking toast. It's like blue screening daily now. So hopefully it's gonna hang in there until eventually I can get like a replacement. But we'll see. Not safe for work. Peppa Pig gave $1. Thank you, Peppa Pig. Based pig. Hey pig, piggy pig, pig, pig. All of my dreams came true. Do you think the writing for future titles won't be as good since Dan Houser left Rockstar? See, I've thought about this, and I really don't know. I think, like, there's always been a certain, I believe the Zoomers out there call it vibe. There's always been a certain vibe with most games by Rockstar that I think has been in all of those games, or at least most of them, because of the writing. So if all of a sudden, you know, one of the key people in the writing process takes off, I mean, like, obviously that's going to have an effect. You can hire people all fucking day long to try and replicate the shit that fucking, Dan Houser wrote, but there's always been also like an innovative kind of mindset behind his writing, I think. I think like just like Dan Houser himself, like if you look at his writing or just like the games in general, in the beginning it was really simplistic. But as it went on, as you got to like GTA 5 or, Red Dead Redemption 2, it became really fucking impressive. So, am I Muslim? No. I should be, though. Whatever happens, inshallah, we'll see. But yeah, anyway, as for the writing process, I think it could suffer, but I'm not gonna immediately dismiss, the new writers just yet. Assuming they have some, I mean, like, I would hope. I'm really hoping they're not just gonna, like, pay, some fucking people for shit they've already written, like, most of fucking Hollywood does. Have I heard the new Limp Bizkit album? I have, and it's fucking cool. I wish they had a few more songs, like Out of Style and Dirty Rotten Biscuit on it. Like, some more kind of, like, longer songs. It does feel like most of it is, like, interlude tracks. That's my main complaint. But really, like, if you think about it, my complaint it boils down to, like, it's not long enough. I want more. So I guess my complaint is also a compliment, in a sense. Yeah. It's a fun album. It's fun, short. I mean, like, if there's somebody out there who wants to, like, check out Limp Bizkit and see what they're about, check out the song Out of Style. It's the first and, in my opinion, best song on the album. Turn It Up, Bitch. That's a good one, too. Joel! I think this might be a Swedish name. Or, I don't know. It's in euro, the money that I got, so I think it might be European, at least. Let's see. Joel Viljanen, or Viljanen, gave 2 euros. What are the new details about Bully 2? I missed. You can just go back. This stream will be archived, so you can go back and check it out later. I will also be putting out a video eventually which summarizes everything that I mentioned, and I will be providing some additional information when the time comes. Not a lot of it, though. Most of the shit that you heard me talk about has been, that's what I got. So basically, like, everything that I found super interesting, I've mentioned now, but if you want to hear a bit more later, stay tuned, I guess. I don't know when the video is going to come out. Considering that my fucking hand's broken, it's going to take a while, but we'll see. Jesus is Lord. Hey, whatever floats your fucking boat. I'm not religious, but whatever makes you happy, Mason. Whatever makes you happy. There. When's the video coming out? Literally just address that, but okay. I am cute. I beg to differ, and I think most people do, but thank you. SWEGTA is Lord. There you go. Sweet. I didn't know that. Have you ever considered that, like, not the possibility, but, like, the scenario of you maybe being God, but, like, you're unaware of it? So, like, you created the fucking universe as basically a simulation for yourself. You exist within it and within the limits. And then when you die, you'll realize, like, wait, hold on, I'm actually in charge. None of this is real. Huh. It's a bit of a trippy fucking mindfuck of a thought, but occasionally I do have that thought. I'm like, what if I'm God? Not, like, in a good, useful way. Just, like, what if I'm God, but I'm, like, too fucking incompetent to realize it? Who knows? Who knows what lurks in the hearts of a fat stoner SWEGTA? Stuart Lugsden. Or Lugsden. £5. Here, you need it. Also, Q&A. Do you think Sam Houser doesn't care anymore? The state of Rockstar makes me think he stopped caring. See, a big part of the state of Rockstar is contingent upon, or is caused by, rather, Take-Two Interactive getting involved way too much. So, you also have to keep in mind, like, this is something that, like, Andrew Yang said, and I know, like, some people don't like him. I used to be big into, like, the Yang Gang, because, automation pilled and all that, UBI, all of that sounds based, term limits, fucking, the American scorecard. I mean, like, a ton of cool ideas, But there's one thing that he said that I think is relevant right now, and that's when you build a company up from the bottom. So if you are in like somebody's shoes, like Sam or Dan Houser, and you play a huge role in this company and the growth of it, and you write for a lot of the scripts and you handle a lot of the business decision making. The company isn't just like an organization in your mind after a while. For most people, it becomes almost like a pet, like something that they've raised up. It has a name, it has an image, it has as far as like the public perception goes, and it almost has like a personality of its own. And so I would imagine that like it doesn't feel too good to build a company up so far and then to just be like, oh well, it's totally monetary now. I don't know him personally, so I'm just taking a shot in the fucking dark when I'm opining on this now, but I would think that he is more invested in it than just monetarily. I would be, at least. But then again, I mean, like, Sam Houser has always been the more business-minded of the two, so who knows? Default channel name gave $5 and said, "Love your videos, man. My question is, would you rather Bully 2 be more dark or kind of lighthearted, like the first one? You know what I mean." Oh, I know what you mean. So, I guess like it would be between like, okay, since this would be like Bully 2, do you mean like it would be more similar to like how Bully was initially gonna be, where like it has a way grimmer tone and everything like that, or just like in general darker, like just way more fucked up, like Manhunt level fucked up? I don't know. Either case, I honestly prefer the lighthearted tone of Bully, because I think there's a lot of charm in that. And with a lot of games, especially nowadays, there's like this emphasis on grittiness and realism. You've seen this with with Hollywood. When take for instance, Robin Hood. Robin Hood is a really fucking like, I don't know, like a joyful, optimistic kind of, tale. There's some messed up shit in there too, but overall, it's supposed to be kind of like a lighthearted, adventurous, kind of like, oh, justice is served through the means of the people. They take back what's theirs, and, sometimes you have to stand up to authority, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, this is all positive shit. But if you look at the actual film adaptations, I think the last one they did in fucking like 2010 or so, wasn't that like Russell Crowe, and it's like, it's gray looking and fucking cold, and there's like no humor in it at all. Like, sometimes it's better, like depending on the product, depending on the fucking project, or like the story, of course, but like, sometimes it's better to just like have something be fun and lighthearted. This is why people like Minecraft so fucking much, or like TF2. There is a fucking huge demand for those kind of games. You can have them be violent. Like TF2, if you look at it, I mean, like, it has violence in it. There's fucking, like, innards and shit being spilled when you shoot some people sometimes with, like, explosives. But it also has, like, a really fun, zany visual style to it. And I think if Rockstar kind of pursued that a bit, I think they could find a really fucking lucrative market. It depends on what it is and how they pull it off, but there is a demand for it, and I think they would be a good company to do it, especially considering how well they handled the tone in the first game, Bully. So hopefully that answers your question. If it didn't, I apologize. How do you feel about that, chat? What do you reckon? How do you feel? Am I wrong? What is that quote? Do you feel blame? Are you mad? I love that. I should bring that back. I should like bring up my my soundboard and bring that back. I need to like bind my numpad key so I can just like mash my fucking hand. Just be like, Do you feel blame? Are you mad? Can you stand up? How tall? I'm 5'10", so I'm not really that tall. But there you go. How do you feel about that? Hey, chat, will you marry me? Ah, fuck. Damien! Lactose Damien! James Martino gave $4.99 and said, "I'm 4 inches." I believe you, James. I believe you. I think you're actually selling yourself a bit short. I think you're 8. You're 8 inches. I $50. Just brightening up your day, Swag. Wish you the best. Hey, thank you. I don't know how fucking many times you've done this, but fuck me. Thank you kindly. Yeah, you definitely did. I'm actually getting paid today or tomorrow. If I don't get paid today, then I'll use this money to buy a pizza. Because, I'm starving. I'm hungry. I want some lasagna. But yeah, thank you, Ainai. Hope you're well. By the way, I might be misremembering, but if you did donate prior and I didn't read it, let me know and I'll do it now. I have like Streamlabs open, so I'll find it. But thank you. Stern teacher. So basically every fucking teacher that I ever had, well, not every, every now and then I had one cool teacher, Like, I had a cool science teacher. I had a cool math teacher. Basically, like, all the subjects that, like, people find most boring, I had good teachers in, for some reason. But, like, all of the stuff that's supposed to be fun, like music, my music teacher was an asshole. And then, like, he had this is a total aside, I'm sorry, but, like, I just want to go on a quick rant. So, I actually did fucking, in a way, blackmail a teacher one time. Not, like, fully, but I kinda did. So, a music teacher that I had, eventually he got demoted because it turned out that he actually didn't have, like, a proper education to be a teacher. But, before that happened, the music teacher that I had, he wanted an assistant. I think that's actually how they found out that he wasn't qualified, because, like, he was making all of these demands, and eventually they were like, who the fuck, like, who's this? And they looked into it, and they're like, oh, wait, hold on. So what school did you attend again? And, from there, it was just kind of like, okay. Now you're in the fucking cafeteria serving muffins to the fat kids, I mean, it is what it is. But he did have an assistant for a while. And this assistant, for whatever reason, did not like me. It's just one of those times where it's like somebody takes a good look at you and they're like, no. And that was one of those times. Unfortunately for this bitch, and I use the term bitch properly now, because, like, me personally, I don't like it when people call women bitches, but this person was an actual bitch. Like, setting gender aside, this was a fucking bitch. She wanted to give me... Okay, so basically, like, the grading system we had back then, now we have, the same as in the US, where it's like A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. But back then, we had, like, MVG, VGG, and all that. So basically, like, the equivalent that I was going to be given for an assignment that I did, which involved, me and some other people, like, practicing instruments and playing a song, and that was it. That was, like, the fucking assignment. The grade that I was going to be given because of that, and bear in mind, like, I play bass. I know how to play bass. I know how to play this fucking song. In fact, this is a song that we played that I already knew how to play to begin with. So this, for me, was like, show up, play this song that I know how to play on bass, and then it's over. Remember that. Okay, so I played bass. When she gave me feedback, she's like, some of the chords, you messed up some of the chords. I'm like, what fucking chords? Like I'm not playing a song by, like, Les Claypool or fucking Flea. This is a fucking, like, I think I played fucking, what was it, Boulevard of Broken Dreams on bass, like one of the easiest fucking songs ever. So I'm like, what chords? What are you fucking... So I pressed her on it. We did have, like, one of those moments where it's like, you a one-on-one regarding the grade. So she's like, okay, do you have any questions? And I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? She's like, what do you mean, what do I mean? I'm like, well, you mentioned chords. Like, I didn't, like, what instrument did I play, first off? And she's like, you played guitar. I'm like, no. And she actually, like, tried to bullshit her way out of it, like, well, if you kind of think about it, I'm like, no, this doesn't make any fucking... You are a music teacher. You know this. This is fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call bullshit on you, miss. Like, this is a total crock of shit. Sorry for fucking cursing, but, like, this is not true at all. Everything you've said so far about, like, what I did is just false. And to her credit, she actually owned up to it. She's like, yeah, I've been really stressed out at work and blah, blah, blah. It's like, and eventually she's like, okay, if we just let this go, how about I give you an A? And I was like, okay, fair enough. Sounds good to me. I feel I earned it, And if that's the way it's going to go, then fair enough. And I never had her in any other class again, unfortunately. I think it would have been actually kind of useful. Although I think she would have, not fucked up, my assignment again. But still, at least, I got an A, and I played, one of the easiest songs you could ever play on bass. So that was cool. But yeah, total aside, I know. I just felt like going into that. Why the hell not? It's my broadcast. I can do as I please. If I wanted to, I could fucking fap right now, and none of you could do anything about it. Mwahaha. What is he talking about? Who knows? Who knows? Stern teacher. Okay, doomer. Okay, that was the donation. Thank you. Dampier 1987 gave $5 and said, "Good to see you, Swag. This is some refreshing Bully 2 related info. Or some bully related info." Thank you. Try putting on some deodorant. I mean, I do. The moment I step out of the shower and I fucking dry myself, I'm like, deodorant, because I don't like the smell of fucking sweat. So, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what you're fucking yammering about, chat? Thank you, Damper. Triboltsa gave $5 Thank you. And said, hope things are looking up at the moment, man. Stay strong. I mean, my fucking hand's broken, but aside from that, I should be fine. I have the haircut of King Arthur. Let me see. Do I? I am Arthur. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know, just... There. Is this better? Is that better? Is that more to your liking, good sir? Are you happy now? Happiness. Happiness. My hair is a fucking disaster. But it is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. Hitler hair? God fucking damn it. Oh, wait, hold on. Whatever. Just disheveled maniac is what I call this. I look like Will Wheaton? That's fucking worse than Hitler. Don't say that. What the hell? No, please. I just can't win. You just can't win, and the things you own you. No! I don't know. Yo, dude, fix that. What is this? Why do I have such a fashion-savvy audience? What else? Are you gonna fucking critique my fashion, too? This fucking Red Hot... I guess it's flipped. You can't see it, but... It's a fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt. Is that good enough? Is that kosher, chat? Is that fine? Because I think it should be. I think it's a pretty fucking decent shirt. Not a big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers, but, I like the way the shirt looks. And I like... Well, not the way the hair looks. Looks kind of shitty, but... Whatever. At least it's, not Hitler aesthetic now. So we're making progress. We went from, King Arthur... all the way down to Adolf Hitler, and now we're, back up at, I don't know, drug addict, 101. We're good. I should join a gym. Well, not now. Not during... See, now I actually have an excuse not to do that. Because it's there's a pandemic going on, and I can't go outside, and if I go to the gym, that's irresponsible, and I shouldn't be doing that, and blah, blah, blah. So, I have a reason to be sedentary at this moment. I have a reason to be a fucking hermit, in this apartment. Is the shirt blue, or am I colorblind? I guess it actually does look kind of blue. I think that might just be, the webcam dying. It's oh, black, you mean blue. You can still work out in your room. I don't have one, haha. Joke's on you, I don't have a home anymore. So I don't have to do that. I have actually been losing a bit of weight. I think it's mostly stress related, so I don't think it's a healthy weight loss, but I have been losing weight either way. Bully femboy cosplay win. Tell you what, if somebody actually gives me like $1,000, $1,000, I will like do a femboy stream. And I do have a roommate, so I'm gonna have to like explain that to this person and just be like, okay, you have to understand. There's like an anonymous person on the internet who gave me money to dress up like a slut. So like it's not weird. I guess like that's kind of like where we're you know, a lot of things are headed though. You know, with OnlyFans and all that, people are more open about that kind of thing, and I think that's cool. Tom Henderson is your source, and he's bullshitting. And Tom Henderson is not my fucking source. I tried speaking to Tom, and he doesn't. I get the impression that he just doesn't like me. So rest assured, it's not fucking Tom Henderson. SWEGTA OnlyFans win. I don't know. Soon enough. When I get really desperate. Do you think I could actually make decent buck on OnlyFans? Because like I've thought about it, not like seriously, but I've like entertained the idea of like, okay, well, if I were to do that, would it pay off? Would it actually be worth, you know, like the entire community making fun of the size of my dick? You know. See, that's the thing, too. Like, I'm average as fuck. Like, average fucking height, average girth and everything when it comes to, like, other shit, too. But I feel like just, like, the internet being the internet, people would just, like, mercilessly make fun of me for that. They would just be like, oh, you're fat and, you know, you're fucking not that good-looking naked. Unlike us. Unlike, you know, fucking Skullcrusher85 in the chat. Unlike, you know, fucking all these anonymous people. We're beautiful. You know the song The Beautiful People by fucking Marilyn Manson? It's us. You know, if you remove the societal commentary and the actual meaning of the song, that's us. That's us the song's about. What's SWEGTA's height? It's 5'10". People are bitter. They are. Who cares? You'll be earning money. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. It depends. If, like... Maybe it's like, if you look up, like, you know, the person with, like, the smallest penis, or, like, the person with, like, the strangest looking genitalia. Like, you know, there's been a lot of offers from, like, various studios who've been like, hey, we have, like, this fucking audience that's, like, really into that, and we'd like to, like, offer you this fucking deal to shoot, you know, X amount of fucking videos. Sure, I mean, like, that obviously happens to those kind of people, but, like, I'm not that, you know? I'm not fucking... You know, I'm not equipped in that regard either. So it's like... I don't know, it's like, you just can't win sometimes. You just can't fucking win, and I guess that's the moral of this stream. You can never win. Honestly, I would buy your OnlyFans. What? Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, Bully 2 News. Strange Waffle. What's your favorite thing about Bully? I mean, I would say, the story itself, I think it's simple. You know, it's nonsensical at times, but it's an enjoyable journey, and at the end of it, you're like, okay, that's good. That's a good finale. And that's something that I like about the game, too. Like, it doesn't really necessarily leave anything open for a sequel, nor does it, like, exclude a sequel either. It's just like, hey, story concluded, the end. You know, you beat the fucking bad guy. It's a really, like, formulaic ending, but it's one that I feel works well with the tone of the game. So I'd say the story is my favorite aspect of the game. Please stream naked. Hold on. Can I get away with this? There you go. There you go. One nipple. One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask SWEGTA when he's 10 feet tall. Why do I have like one fucking long hair going rogue on me like that? Get down. Get down! Come with me if you want to live. Hey, there you go. All I had to do was like show a little bit of skin, and now the money's pouring in. Thank you, Chili Crystal. You're cute, Swag. Don't let these boys get you down. Yeah, fuck you, boys. All of you. Keep doing you. And stay strong. First time donating and a big time fan. Actually, you know what? I misread that. My apologies. And a big fan. Glad to see you're still working on your channel. Much love. Hey, thank you. Thank you. And I will be putting out more videos. Like I said, I just moved. So, you know, right now I'm just trying to get situated. I'm moving all my shit. But as soon as I can, as soon as I'm able to edit again, I'll be putting together some videos. I am thinking about having somebody else edit for me and just like having them maybe like, you know, I could like find content and then provide them, you know, like, hey, here's an image, here's some video, here's, you know, my narration. Piece it all together if you will, but I don't know. A lot of my videos, like, they may not seem all that detailed, but there is actually a lot of like timing and shit that goes into them. If you look at like how I pace a video, a lot of that is like based on audio first. So usually I do like all the audio shit first, and then I fill in the visuals, and that can take a lot of time. And it can also like, it's not the most effective way of editing a video. I don't recommend doing it that way, but that's how I do it. And if somebody's gonna like replicate that when helping me edit, I don't know, like I feel like that would take them a lot of time. Can't hire an editor if you make no money. Hey, you know what? Maybe I could use some of the money that I'm getting now to like pay someone to edit a couple of videos. I mean, if there's somebody out there and they're willing to do it for like $50, sure. You'll get credit. And if, you know, if it goes well, if we start making money together, then, you know, I'll pay you more, of course, but for the time being, I am broke. I'm broke. How Jays gave $1.99 through Super Chat and said, how long have you played Bully? Well, I first played it when I was fucking... fuck shit. 10. This many. I played it back when I was 10 when it came out in 2006. I played it on Christmas Eve, I think. And then again in 2008 when Scholarship Edition came out on Xbox 360. And then again in like 2010 or 2011 when, you know, I got a laptop and I was like, I want to play some video games. What can I play? All right, nothing modern because it's a laptop. It can't handle it, but it can handle Bully. It can handle Bully on like low settings. So fortunately, I could do that, and I made some videos about it, and I've been playing the game ever since, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. You know the memes. You know the tales. Welcome to Nopeville gave $2. Please don't tell me there are, like, spiders there. Will you make more modding videos in the future? I've thought about opening up a new channel and just being like, SWEGTA tutorials, and, you know, it's just me teaching random shit. But I don't feel like there's a big enough demand for that. What I would suggest, like if you're looking for modding tips and guides and stuff, look up Derpy's Lua GitHub. You can also look up, God, there's another page. I don't know, there are some tutorials out there. I know Derpy also has, she has some modding tutorial videos. Just look up Derpy54320 on YouTube and you'll find some Lua tutorials. Or at least a couple. Best of luck, and also thank you for the donation. So how about you, chat? What do you want to talk about? I'm going to be on for another maybe like 20 minutes, and then I gotta flee. SWEGTA sell NFTs when? You know, I'm kind of pissed at Nathan, honestly. Because, like, and I made this joke before he did. I did. There's video evidence of this shit. But here's the thing. If I make a joke about NFTs, because, you know, like, the texture files in Bully, at least on PC, they're contained in NFT files. So, like, the textures for, like, Jimmy's, you know, clothing, they're contained in, like, different files that are, like, .nft. And I thought about making a joke about that on Twitter, like, oh, so this is what all the NFT shit is about, or, you know, something like that. Just, like, referencing, you know, the trend, which is what it is. It's a fucking trend. NFTs are going to be basically obsolete in 10 years. If they are not, somebody can send me this video, and I will own up to it. I will eat some crow. I don't know. Somebody can kick me in the nuts for being wrong. How about that? I feel like that's fair enough, right? Hello, future swag. You know, if you're wrong about this, or if you were wrong about this, if I'm wrong, you know, younger, way more attractive looking you, if I'm wrong about this, then, you know, my bad. But I don't think I'm going to be wrong. I think NFTs are a fad. But anyway, I thought about, like, making a joke about that on Twitter, and then Nathan did, and I'm like, well, if I do it now, because, like, anything else that I do, anything we have in common, people are like, oh, you stole that from Nathan. So I feel like they're going to do the same thing when it comes to, like, this NFT shit. Like, even just a fucking innocuous little dumb joke on Twitter about, like, .nft files. Even that, people are so fucking anal about it that it's like, and not in a fun way, just like in the boring definition. They're so fucking anal about this that it's like, I can't even make a fucking joke. Because it's like, oh, you're plagiarizing. Oh, I'm sorry, did I plagiarize a fucking tweet? Did I plagiarize a joke that I made before he did? People are so fucking annoying sometimes, I swear to God. Help, I like a guy, but he's straight. Yeah, that is a difficult situation to be in. I don't know, like, maybe you could just give it some time. Like, you know, if he's not interested, you're gonna have to respect that. But, like, I mean, you could spend some time together and then, like, you know, just be honest about him. Like, hey, you know, I like you. I know you probably don't like me in the same way, but, you know, if you want to give it a shot, that'd be cool with me. Like, just be honest about it. And if he's not interested, then just be like, okay, you know, I get it. Fair enough. Easier said than done. You know, it probably hurts, but, you know, you have to be respectful of people's wishes. Will we ever see any more beta Bully live streams? By the way, Bully 2 will have a hat-trick and Galloway arguing on the Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel. Suddenly I'm switching accent. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Let me see. Evil Pod 666. Yeah, very nice. I see all your papers are in order. Yeah. Bite the head off a bat like Ozzy. Dude, I should get, like, not a live bat. I'm not gonna torture an animal, but maybe I should get, like, a dead bat and just be like, like at the beginning of one of my streams, you know, just to, like, freak people out. They're like, what the fuck? Did he just pull an Ozzy? It's like, yeah. What of it? I should do that. But yeah, thank you, Evil Pod, for the 325. I'll do that one time. I'll get COVID-22. Yeah, I'll be patient zero for the, like, COVID fucking... How many do we have now? Like, 3 or 4? I'll be like, you know what? Fuck, we're skipping over all the numbers. We're gonna do, you know, like, when you have, like, a trilogy, and then, like, there's, like, a 4th installment, and before, like, you know, they do, like, the 5th one, they're like, hey, you know, fuck all this number shit. We're just gonna call it, like, COVID the Next Generation, or, like, COVID X. You know, you copy the shit they do with, like, movie titles. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do COVID X. That's me. You heard of Malcolm X? Fuck that. COVID X. Plenty of gay sex. Riding a T-Rex. Whatever. If Bully 2 is out, what video concepts do you have in mind? Oh, do you mean, like, video ideas? Well, first off, I'd have to play it. I mean, like, I have to play the fucking game. I have to do, like, a playthrough. That would be kind of cringe. What, like a playthrough? I mean, I think that would be fucking reasonable. Like, what? People have been asking me to do a playthrough of, like, the original game for, like, a decade now. So, like, if I do one with Bully 2, that somehow would be, like, a social faux pas in your fucking mind? Why? It's fucking nonsense, dude. Don't you have like a mic stand or something? I know your hand must be hurting. Hey, you know what? I'm used to like doing this next to my face, so don't worry about it. Seriously though, I don't really have a mic stand. I have this. So I broke my mic stand a while back, and I had this bottle, and I was like, oh, maybe want a bottle? And I put the mic stand thing in there, and I can put my mic on my desk now, but like I have to lean in and like hunch over my fucking desk to speak into it. So it's just easier that I do this. See, that's something that I should buy with the money that I make from this. It's like a mic stand, a real one, like one that I can, like those things like fucking radio DJs have, where it's like, they say something. Oh yeah, that's a good observation, Frank. I need like one of those fucking mic stands, but I don't have one. Alas, I don't. Hello, pro gamer dude. Done any good gaming lately? If not, I apologize for asking. I know it's a touchy subject. I am deep throating. Do you want to see me do it? I'll fucking do it. Would not be the first time I've done it. How many noodles does a bowl need to... What are you fucking on about, Squid? How many noodles does a bowl need to have for it to be considered spaghetti? I think 2. I mean, like, that's it. That's plural. So it's like 2 noodles. There you go. Unless you mean like noodles as in the food noodles, then no, it's noodles. It's separate from spaghetti. Princess Unicorn Nipples. Badass fucking name. Gave $2. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Oh, that's very kind of you. Opinion on USSR. I don't know, they existed, and they probably would have killed me. So yeah, not a big fan. How do you think he broke his hand in the first place? Of course, he's used to holding the mic like that. Well, I'm used to holding it with my right hand, so anything that I do right now, like typing, dishwashing, whatever, what have you, like it's, I'm not ambidextrous. I think that's it. I'm right-handed, so I can't use both. At least as well as I should be able to. I pulled a Kyle? I don't know who the fuck Kyle is. Do you mean like Rittenhouse or Kyle from South Park or fucking Kyle Kalinske? I don't know any more Kyles than that, but any of those? Thoughts on Cuba? I don't know. I like the culture. There's definitely like a beautiful music scene there, but I don't know. There's a lot of like, unfortunate shit that goes on in Cuba, but it is a beautiful country if you set aside all the horrendous shit. Oh yeah, hello, Betty White. How have you been? We come from Killer Cali. Tony Montana. Yeah, he's what is it? A political prisoner from Cuba. Hello, Nick Schmidt. What's up? How good am I at chess? I know how to play. I like chess sometimes, so not good, but I can play. If you had me playing against like a 9-year-old, I could win. So decent, I guess. Bully 2 details, please. I mean, I provided them in the first half of this stream, so they should be there. They'll be there for you. You were actually watching Scarface today. Funny coincidence. That's a badass fucking film. My roommate, I actually showed him Scarface. He'd never seen it for the first, ever. So this was, the first time. I'm like, dude, this is, one of those films where if you give it a fucking fair chance, you'll like it. And after that, it's like, okay, you know how, when you watch a film with someone and then after that, they talk to you about it for a long time? It left an impact? This was one of those times, and I knew that would happen. The other film that I had this happen with was The Thing. Not the fucking remake. I mean the original. John Carpenter's The Thing. Highly recommend both films, by the way. The Thing is like a horror sci-fi film. And Scarface is like a classic gangster film. It's just like I don't want to describe it more than that because I feel like I would ruin it. If you don't know anything about Scarface, just go watch it. After this, after you've fucking watched this and given me all your money, go watch Scarface. What do I think about China's censorship on the Fight Club movie? Oh yeah, I saw that. Just to kind of summarize, I know most of you probably know this already, but so in China, there's a streaming service which censored the ending of Fight Club. Now, I'm not going to get into specifics because it is a good film, and if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to ruin it. But basically, there's a strong anti-capitalist message at the end. And it kind of it doesn't really encourage it from the audience, but it doesn't really portray it as a bad thing either. It portrays rising up against a lot of big businesses as something that ought to be done, and something that would allow people to live more freely. See, like, I can't get too specific, because if I do, then I spoil it, but basically the ending was removed, and instead there's, like, the screen goes black, and there's text that just says, like, you know, the main character was then apprehended by the authorities and, you know, evaluated for psychological issues and was determined to not be well and now resides in a home. Or it like, basically just ends like that. It's like, that's doesn't have the same impact as the actual ending. I wish I could fucking specify it, but it definitely feels a bit sedated compared to the real ending. When did you cut your hair? I thought you were a heavy metal fan. I am. It's just like when I have like long hair, I mean, like you see it, you know, I have like a fucking shitty hairline and all that, so when I have, like, long hair, that just, like, makes it all the more prominent or more noticeable. And having long hair is also, like, a total bitch to deal with, because, like, sometimes it looks really good, and you're like, man, I don't know why I ever cut it. It looks fucking awesome. But then, you know, you shower, you fucking, you know, maybe you fucking go to bed or something, you wake up, and it's just a disaster. It's like, I don't know what happened. Like, my hair has been, like, Nagasaki'd. Like, what the fuck went on? I just went, I slept for, like, 5 hours, and now it's ruined. And then sometimes when you go to sleep, it actually looks better when you wake up. So, like, at this point, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have short. I'm just gonna have, like, short, medium, whatever the bullshit this is. Because fuck dealing with long hair. I'm done with it. I'm objecting to it. You know, every person who told me that I look better with this length of hair, they were right. I mean, like, my hair is a fucking disaster right now, but you know what I mean. It looks significantly better than when I have, like, long hair, I think. Hello, Lady Hopium. How you been? You know, I've been meaning to tune into one of your streams, but, like, I haven't been able to, because, you know, my living situation has been thrown upside down. So, you know, I'm living with my aunt in Bel Air. I look 14. Well, no shit. I second that statement. Long hair was cool for me, but annoying to deal with. It is. And it's like, there's always an imbalance for me. It's always like, it's either too dry, it's either like too fucking, you know, there's like too much conditioner in it, or it's like frizzy, or it's like lifeless. It's just a fucking mess all the time. And I'm like, how the hell, like, okay, what if I just don't do anything? And, like, you know, for, like, a couple days, I don't do anything. I'm just gonna shower, I'll use a bit of soap, that's it. Staying clean, not gonna fuck around with shampoo or conditioner. And it gets greasy as all hell. It's like, I don't know, it's like fucking, I don't even know, man. Like, it's a disaster. It's horrendous. It's hideous. It's rubbery. It's dry. Doing good, Swag. Glad you're okay. Hope things are getting easier for you. I mean, like, my fucking hand's broken, so there's that, you know. I could be better, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I should be fine. Lumbago. Long hair actually feels good. Like, you know that feeling you get when you do this and you feel it on the back of your neck and it's like caressing it softly? It's like, oh. I don't know what that is, but it's like, it's amazing. I love that feeling. It's like one of the coziest fucking things ever. So let's see. I have some donations. Zizzerp.mp3. That's an old school viewer. $5. Thank you. Are you related to Vinesauce Joel? Hjälp mig, Jesus. No, I'm not. I am familiar with some Vinesauce memes, but as for like us being related, I mean, probably not. I don't think so. Maybe like distant relatives. Old Sport 1747 or 1747. £2 via Super Chat. Thoughts on GTA 6 announcement? I mean, I gave my thoughts on the announcement within the context of like being a disappointed Bully fan. So, also thank you for the donation. I mean, I expected it to happen. I definitely thought they would announce GTA 6 before Bully 2, if I'm being honest. But I do think that it's the likelihood of Bully 2, as far as I can tell, as far as like I see it, I think it's more likely to get announced now, not now, but like, you know, following GTA 6's release than it would have been like right now, if that makes any sense. Because like, you know, the most lucrative titles Rockstar has or have are GTA and Red Dead Redemption. And after that, there's like, you know, some demand for like, you know, oh, it'd be cool if we got like another Manhunt game or like another, you know, Max Payne. But like really what I'm seeing a lot now is Bully 2. Because like, I think it's because like people just see it as something way different. And if they were to like continuously release GTA 6, you know, Red Dead Redemption 3, GTA 7, Red Dead Redemption 4, like, it would actually damage the reputation of Rockstar Games and both of those series. Because, like, right now, I mean, like, Red Dead Redemption 2 was notoriously known for being delayed, but actually to its own benefit. Because if they had rushed it more than they did, I think, you know, for one, they would have had way more employees quitting, so they would have, you know, been in deep shit there. But also, it would have actually damaged the game, and they would have had to like patch it after release, like, you know, most companies do now, or at least a lot of them do. Rockstar is one of few companies, at least like few big companies right now that don't do that, and I think that's something that people appreciate about them, even though like we don't really give them a lot of credit in that regard. How did I break my hand? I punched something. And I guess, like, my hand has this bullshit now where, like, it's sensitive. Because, like, I broke it one time in one specific spot. So, like, if I punch too hard, it just shatters. Well, not shatters, but, you know, it breaks. Goodbye hype, Bully 2. I mean, it can still happen. And like I said, I think the likelihood of it happening is higher now. Because, you know, if they get Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 6 out of the way, it is in their best interest to, like, at least, like, announce something else in the meantime. So just get the big two fucking cash cows out of the way, then get back to doing something more innovative. Have I seen the new Jackass movie? I have not. I had no idea they released it, but I'll check it out. I do feel like it's kind of sad that Bam Margera is not a part of it. Growing up, you know, my older brother and I, and also, like, my mom to some extent, like, you know, we thought Bam Margera was kind of fucking hilarious at times, you know? Like, he would do fucking insane shit, like turn, you know, his mom's living room into, like, a skate ring. You know, cool shit like that. And now it's like, you know, I look at him all these years later, and it's like, this guy is not doing well, and I don't feel comfortable with, like, how the entire internet is, like, gawking at him. Like, this is a human being suffering, and I don't feel comfortable, like, making fun of him. So whenever I see, like, you know, footage of him, like, on r/cringe, I'm just reminded of, like, how fucking damaging, you know, mental health problems can be, and how damaging addiction can be. So I just, you know, sorry for being a downer, but, like, it's difficult for me not to think about this when it comes to Jackass, because, like, isn't this, like, the first Jackass film that he has played no role in whatsoever, because all the other members of Jackass are just kind of like, we're not going to involve him. So, I don't know, that's really unfortunate. story predictions for Bully 2. I cannot make any. Okay, I guess the one prediction I would make is like Jimmy Hopkins is not going to make another appearance. I think he may have like there may be some like references to Jimmy here and there, but like there's not going to be any, appearance by Jimmy Hopkins if they make a sequel. Have I seen the Bully 6 teaser? I have. I've seen all of them. Thoughts on people being canceled by not doing COVID-19 vaccines? I mean, if it's like I take a stand against this, and then it's like, well, you don't really have no fucking valid reason to do that at this point. Like, all this talk about like satanic, pedophile, communist nanobots and shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, at what point are we just gonna fucking admit that, like, people who believe in anti-vax shit are just irrational? I'm sorry. Like, if there's somebody out there who's anti-vax, I'm sorry, you just are. Every fucking conspiracy theory that I've heard has been debunked. They've all been fucking addressed. It's all just a crock of shit. Just take the fucking vaccine. Even if you don't think you need it, it's not just for your sake. It's also so, like, you don't help spread it. Because you can, believe it or not, be asymptomatic. And spreading it is easy to do if you don't even recognize the symptoms yourself. That's not people's reason for not taking the vaccine, dude. Then what is the reason? Like, if there's like a legitimate, like, I have a medical condition that will, I'll basically die if I take the vaccine, and for a fact, then it's like, okay, I'm not going to pass judgment on that person. But if it's like, if you have access to it, if you're being urged to take it by medical professionals who actually know what the fuck they're talking about, then, like, what fucking reason do you have not to take it? Like, really? What fucking reason? This pandemic could have been over by now. I'm kind of over the damn excuses. I don't think it would have been over. At the very least, we would have heavily reduced the number of people who got COVID, including the people who died from it. Now, most people's reasons for not taking it are exactly what SWEGTA said. I mean, of course, I'm using a bit hyperbole when I'm like, communist, satanic nanobots. But, like, a lot of this shit is conspiracy-based. A lot of this shit is just, like, people believing a bunch of fucking nonsense. They're like, it's the mark of the beast. It's like, do you actually believe this? Do people really believe this? And then I find out that they do. I'm constantly reminded of that. Every fucking day. Every day I check my fucking feeds. There's always, like, at least, like, one fucking post about someone dying because they're like, I'm not going to be vaccinated. That's satanic. And as a result, they're fucking dead. Either they're fucking dead or, like, oh, oops, I accidentally infected grandma. God fucking forbid I take proper fucking precautions to make sure that, like, I don't jeopardize the well-being of, like, elderly people in my vicinity, It's not just you. It's people around you. It's people you deal with. It's like when you go to the fucking store and you haven't been vaccinated, like, yeah, you are putting other people at risk. So, like, if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for, at least, like, for other people, just for, like, the general public. You don't have to. There's no law forcing you, although I'm, slowly being convinced that there probably should be by now. But, if you're not going to take it, then, like, I can't force you. I think it's irrational not to, but whatever. Vaccines reduce your IQ. I think it's the opposite. Like, it seems to me like the people who take vaccines seem to just be overall more rational. At the very least, they're less likely to buy into conspiracy shit. You can still spread with a jab. Yeah, of course, you can. It doesn't, like, definitively, preclude it in every possible regard. Like, you can still catch it, you can still spread it. But, like, it's obvious by now that, like, if you get vaccinated, that heavily reduces the risk of that happening. And that's what this all is about. There's no, like, definitive solution to this because that just doesn't exist at this point. What does exist are precautions you can take that reduce the risk of you spreading it or catching it. So it's about, like, reduction, harm reduction. It's not a perfect solution, but it's the closest fucking thing we have. I'd much rather fucking reduce harm than do nothing at all. Especially if it's not even gonna fucking like cost me anything. Especially if it's like paid for by fucking tax dollars anyway. Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of Pfizer. So like, if we're getting into that, like I'm not a big fan of these fucking huge medical corporations. But like, what am I gonna do? Like, invent my own vaccine? I mean, like, at some point, I'm gonna have to like, put some level of trust in the medical establishment. If nothing else, I'm gonna, consult like doctors and nurses and actually ask them, like, is this something I should do? Yes. Okay. Fair enough, doc. Let's do it. Am I keeping up with the investor calls on Tom Henderson's live stream? I didn't even know Tom Henderson had a stream. I guess we could check it out. I mean, actually, I gotta go in like maybe like 10 minutes, but yeah, fucking yeah. You know what? I'll tell you what. If something interesting happens on the Tom Henderson show, whatever he calls it, I'll tweet about it. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at SWEGTA. Follow me. I've gone from talking about a new tool for the bully community to Bully 2 to my music teacher and now COVID. I just go wherever the fuck the chat goes. So if people are upset about me for talking about like topic X, then it's like, okay, well fucking take it up with your comrades in the chat. I'm being given topics and I'm opining on them as like any fucking person on this website does. I guess like the difference between me and most people on this website is like I actually speak my mind. Much to my own detriment at times, but I still do it. See, that's something that I've noticed. People don't like it when you do that. They like it when you say something they agree with and they convince themselves that like, oh, he speaks his mind. He tells it like it is. But then like the nanosecond you say anything that like ever so slightly goes against anything they believe, it's like, I just can't follow you anymore. I used to be into your shit, but now, you know what? Fuck you, the end. And at that point, I have to ask myself, like, am I actually losing anything by, like, not having those kind of people watching me? Would I not rather have people watch me who are, like, open to opposing points of view? Within reason, of course. Like, if I came on here and I was, like, spreading some, like, Nazi shit, then, like, of course, it would make sense for people to fucking leave immediately. But, in the absence of something fucking totally out there like that, if it's just like, hey, here's my opinion on, like, media representation, and somebody's like, I don't feel the same way as you do, well, at least, like, I fucking invite discourse. At least, like, when I face a huge backlash, I invited people on to, like, talk to me one-on-one. And despite that, people were like, oh, well, you only brought on people who were nice to you. It's like, no, I picked people at totally fucking random. The people I brought on happened to be nice to me, and I kept looking for... Even during the broadcast, I kept saying, like, I'm looking for someone who's gonna be pissed off at me. I'm looking for someone who's just gonna, like, fucking go all out. I could not find them. You know why? Because they're fucking chicken shit. The same thing happens over and over again. I constantly fucking ask people, like, hey, if you have a problem with me, let's talk about it. We can talk about it on my channel or yours. Whatever. Let's just broadcast me and you having a back and forth. You can lay out any fucking gripe you have with me. And every single fucking time, so far at least, and I'm talking about like years. Every single fucking time, they always back out. They always fucking tuck their fucking tails and run. So it's like... Dude, if I'm so fucking wrong, if I'm so fucking stupid and out there, like, would it not be the easiest thing ever to just correct me on all that? I don't just tell my audience what they want to hear, which is why my audience is small, but at least it's genuine, goddammit. I think it's also because, like, the topics you cover, because, like, it's bound to upset YouTube. I would assume. I've been a fan for years. How dare you not believe this satanic rituals being done on toddlers by that harlot Hillary Clinton. Hey, fun fact. Putting your contacts in with a broken hand is impossible. Putting them in with one hand is really difficult. So, yeah. Apropos of nothing, but still. Yeah. I know there are people in my audience who are big into conspiracy theories. Not all of them, not even half of them, but like there's a sizable chunk. They're out there. I guess like I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist myself. Like, for instance, like I am kind of dubious on whether or not, votes are even counted during elections. It just seems to me like, okay, if the system's rigged and bought and paid for in the first place, like why the fuck would they even allow for the possibility of the people voting in someone who goes against any of it? I think like when you become president, it doesn't matter. Like, take Obama, for instance. Like someone who, at least like on the outside, seemed like someone who wanted to hold the system, accountable and actually do some major sweeping changes, like shutting down Guantanamo Bay and shit. Even he, like, as soon as he took office, it's just like, well, we are gonna have to make some compromises. Like, fucking excuse me? Weren't you like the hope and change guy? What the hell happened? And then it's like, well, I used to be against the government spying on people. I said it was unconstitutional, which, it is. But, he actually said you can't have 100% freedom, 100% privacy, and 100% safety. It's like, yeah, but isn't that like the cost of fucking freedom? Like the possibility of someone, like planning something? I mean, like, maybe it sounds fucked up, but I would much rather have, like, occasional attacks than to, like, totally lose any privacy that I have access to. I don't know if that's a based or cringe take, but still. There were bully news? Yes, there were. You missed them. Okay, so I'm going to take off in like 6 minutes. So if you have any more questions, am I dissing Obama? Fuck yeah, I am. Like, okay, why shouldn't I? I feel like every person ever should diss Obama. Dude, he's like the... Okay, when you look up the word sellout, like the thing where they're like, there should be a picture of him next to it. No, don't even bother. Don't fucking waste space on that. Just like, have the definition, just have it be like, Barack Obama. That's it. That's the fucking definition. It's a nickname. What happened to my hand? I shit talked Obama, and I got roughed up by some suits. Oh jeez. X2. Thank you for the $1.99 again. Gotta go. Was cool hanging out. Thanks for the bully news. Hey, thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the donos. Obama. 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 Okay, so if you have any more questions, now would be the time. If not, I'll be jetting. I don't think that's a term. I think people just say, I'm gonna jet. They don't say, I'm gonna be jetting. What mic is that? It's a Samsung Q2U. And it's a podcasting mic. So if you're looking to get into podcasting, or you just want to find like a simple, affordable dynamic mic, it's good. It's actually better than the Blue Yeti I had, I think. Am I living with my parents? I have not lived with my parents since I was, or a parent since I was 14 or 13. So no. Although, some people do think I look younger than I actually am. But no. Right now, I live with a roommate. So, yeah. I'm 26. No, I'm 25. I almost said 24. I almost lied. What happened to my hand? I jerked off a giraffe and it got pissed off and it fucking stepped on me. How old is you? I'm not gonna say the last word because that's a slur. And if you don't know, I've stopped saying slurs because I don't like making people upset for no good reason. And also it just feels fucking weird at this point. Let's see. How old am I? I'm 25. You look 19. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, I'm old enough to, like, join the army and fucking die, fighting brown people, so whatever that's worth. Seriously though, I'm not a big fan of the military. Not a big fan of war. Not a big fan of racism either. Do you think you suck? From time to time, yeah. Yeah. Any music I'm listening to right now? I was listening to Nirvana in the living room. In Bloom, I saw the music video for it. I've noticed that we have a cat, or my roommate has a cat. She usually fucking chills on the couch when Nirvana plays. I don't know if it's the sound of fucking Kurt Cobain's voice that she's into, or if it's just like happenstance. I don't know, but that's cool. I think the person asking that sucks. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. SWEGTA sings In the Club by 50 Cent on SoundCloud. Yeah. I don't know if I did say the N-word when I did that cover. It was more of a mockery of 50 Cent. But, yeah, if I did, I apologize. I apologize to all the black people across the globe. My bad. Yeah. The cat just want to be near you. Maybe that's it. She usually lays on my belly when I'm, like, laying on my back watching TV. Poisoning myself with fucking vapid nonsense on the screen. What do I think about China? Do I think it's a threat to the US and the world? A bit, but I do think a lot of that is fear-mongering. I think a lot of that is just, like, politicians playing people like a fiddle. Because, like, for a long time, people have been like, China, it's, this foreign fucking influence. And it's like, yeah, that's always going to be there. Like, I'm not denying that being a fucking problem. But as far as, like, a threat, I mean, I think China's a bigger threat to, like, its own people than anything else. Have you, or are you a still fan of iDubbbz TV, and have you watched the latest documentary on Sam Hyde? Were you a fan of him? I didn't know there was a documentary on Sam Hyde. I was never a fan. Like, Sam Hyde, I think he can be funny, but I'm not, like, a big fan of some of the shit that he does. Like, donating to, like, people on the far right who are just, like, openly fascist and shit. And, I have heard him, like, talk about, like, okay, well, I don't get political. It's like, you do. I know he also doesn't like doctors, because the healthcare system in the U.S. sucks, so I guess that's the fault of doctors. I don't know. He put out some shitty video about that, but as far as, like, a comedian or actor goes, I mean, I think he's funny. But I don't think that, he's really politically sound. He's not based. He's not based at all. You know what, Jamie? I'm going to make you a mod, if you're still there. Jamie, can you hear me? I am lost and so alone. I'm asking for your guidance. Won't you come down from your throne? Moderate the chat before we leave. The healthcare system everywhere sucks, and doctors are pretty arrogant a lot of the time. True, but... Okay, I'll give you an example. You see this? This cost me nothing. I have several appointments booked, checkups, more scans and all that, and then, they're going to replace the cast. This has not cost me anything, and it's not going to cost me anything later on either. All of that is covered. It's deemed a necessity. And by that nature, it's covered. I'm fine. So, I'm just thinking, like, okay, well, if fucking evil socialist Sweden can do that, which Sweden's not even fucking socialist. Like, actually look up the definition of socialism if you think it's socialist. But if evil Sweden can do this, if evil, like, lib-cuck, dumbass Sweden can fucking provide proper healthcare to at least, like, most people, I think America can do that too. I mean, especially considering that it's, like, the wealthiest fucking country to ever exist. Like, I think you can afford it. And I think it would be the ethical thing to do. Yeah, I'm in a similar situation in Canada, but I do get frustrated with how little healthcare professionals seem to care. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of part of the job, too, to not really be that invested, but people can be nonchalant, and when it gets to, like, that extent, I mean, that is a problem. Uh, so, yeah. Do I watch wrestling? No. I've never been into wrestling. I mean, like, I've seen some of it. I've seen some clips and shit. I know some people that are into it. So occasionally, like, I'll be shown something, but I don't follow it. No. Okay, you know what? I'm not a big fan of fucking racism, so I'm gonna time you out. Time out. Sit in the corner. Put on the dunce cap. Think about what you've done. Sweden, indeed. Am I still passionate about making YouTube videos? I am. I'm just, in a kind of, I'm just kind of like in a fucked up place emotionally right now. So instead of, putting on my entertainer face and be like, hey guys, I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe I should focus on, like, not fucking wanting to jump off a building every day, That's a bit of an exaggeration. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what the fuck I'm saying. My YouTube channel sucks. Well, so does mine. Mine is pretty fucking bad. I broke my hand fisting. Yeah, I did. It got lodged in there. I don't know what happened. I think there was like maybe a pack of gerbils that like went rogue and just grabbed me and tried to pull me in. I was like, pulled out the wrong way. My hand snapped a little. And now it's broken. Mom, it's broken. Mom, it's broken. When I spoke with Jerry Rosen, oh yeah, you did that fucking video. I have that in my watch later list. I saw like half of it. I gotta check that out. Yeah, I thought about playing that like on stream next time, but it's kind of lengthy, and I don't know if there's a whole lot that I could add to it. But I'll check it out. When I spoke with Jerry Rosendahl, he said that Rockstar never called him back for Bully 2. Do you know if this is true, SWEGTA? I mean, if you heard Jerry say that, then it's probably true, because, I mean, like, I don't see why he would lie about that. Like, Jerry has always, to me, he's always come off as, like, pretty fucking, like, genuine and honest person. So, I don't think he's being dishonest, no. But if he is, then he probably has, like, good reason to be. He doesn't seem like the type of person who would, like, lie for no good reason. He, he's honest, but if he has to be dishonest, I think there has to be a good reason for it. Swegta's Obama impression was on point. No, it wasn't. I, am a total fucking disappointment. Wasn't there, like, some fucking controversy about, like, Obama having a tan suit? They're like, he's the president and he had a tan suit. There was actually, like, a big deal made out of him having a tan suit on. I'm just like, you know what? My problem is not the fact that it's a tan suit. My problem is the fact that it's a fucking suit. Americans don't dress like that. This is not the fucking 30s. People don't walk around in suits. The only fucking, like, corporate sellouts and wealthy people do that. And people, like, attending, formal gatherings. But, like, how often do you do that? Like, it's like, if you want people to relate to you, you have to look like an actual human fucking being. So just, like, whenever I see, like, a politician in a suit, doesn't matter. Even if it's just, like, even if they do the fucking, like, jacket, jeans thing, Yang did. Like, one time, I just want to see, like, one motherfucker just get up on stage and, like, I don't know, fuck it, go up, like, the next debate you do, just go up with, like, have one of those shirts that says, like, I'm with stupid. Just have one of those. Or if nothing else, just, like, I don't know, have, like, an AC/DC shirt. Like, who the fuck doesn't like AC/DC? Even people who don't like rock music, like, you gotta admit, like, they have a couple bangers, at least. You listen to, like, Hell's Bells, and it gets you kind of, like, fired up. Or, Shook Me All Night Long. There's some cool shit they've got. So, like, a politician with an AC/DC shirt. I would feel, as a metalhead, I would feel a bit like that's a bit of a cultural appropriation. But at the same time, I would at least be able to, like, recognize a little bit of myself in the person on stage. I'm on a highway to hell. That's my that's my impression. You said that the bully community had a special surprise. What was it? That will be revealed in due time. Thoughts on Joshimus? I like him. He's cool. I used to be one of his subscribers on Twitch. But then, I had money issues, and I'm like, okay, maybe being subbed to Joshimus is not a must for me right now. When am I going to do another stream with Jake/Guy Who Lied? I want to do another one, and it's cool that, like, there's somebody in the chat asking for more. But, I don't know. Like, we were going to record a fuck ton of shit for my Patreon, but we never did. It was just one of those things where, like, he was ready, I was not. I was ready, he wasn't. Towley. You want to get high? You want to get high? This is the fucking worst character ever, but I love him. Nice clickbait, dude. What are you fucking talking about? I did provide fucking details. Shut up. What is this whiny bullshit? So, like, you do realize, like, you have the ability to, like, go back and hear me talk about the thing that, like, the title refers to, right? You wanna get high, chat? If my voice is less raspy, I can actually do it. Mr. Hanky. Howdy ho! Oh, I can actually do Mr. Hanky. Holy shit, I never realized. I can actually do that one. Damn, I didn't know that. I learn more about myself every day. So what else do we have? I think that's about it. Batman? No, I can't do Batman. Yeah, we're going to take off. Thank you all for tuning in. Actually, I am going to be reading some donations before I do. I have a ton that I got from some people in my time of need. It's not going to take too long. I will also occasionally be looking at the chat, so if you have anything you want to ask, now's the time. So let's see. We're going to go back 3 months. There's not a lot of them. John Sturts and John Duff. Thank you, John and John, for becoming patrons. Pearl Jammer, 199 Super Chat, said GTA SA is equal to 6 DBZ sagas into one video game. Sure. Let's see. Nexus Foxy gave $5 and said, yo, the way you died, that's how I died. Okay, I think these are donations that I got on my GTA stream, so I'm going to skip ahead a bit. I think. Yeah, they are. Okay, here we go. I found them. So, Sir Salty gave $10 and said, it's not much, but I hope it helps. It did. Thank you. Props gave $5 and said, absolutely love your bully vids, dude. Sorry to hear that things have gotten difficult. But you can get through this. Hope my dono can help out at least a little. All love, heart. Thank you, Props. Heart, back to you. Genie gave $100 and said, I just wanted to say that I enjoyed our brief chat a while back. I know I didn't speak much, but it meant a lot to me that you still talked. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you. And if you want to talk again, Genie, just let me know. You can find me on Twitter. I'll be checking my DMs, so if you want to chat about anything, let me know. Thank you kindly for the $100. Spins Rock, $5. It's not much because money is tight for me too, but I wanted to share some support. Keep up the good work, man. The community is proud of you. Thank you, Spins Rock. Sorry, my eyes are like drying up. I've been awake for a while. 9 matches, $2. I don't have much to give, but I hope this pays for coffee or something. I hope you're doing good, man. Thanks for putting up something for us to donate to. Best of luck. You have a long life ahead. Thank you, matches. Thank you. Gareth, $5. hey man, I don't have a lot of money right now, and I'm moving and everything, but I wanted to help out. Hope everything works out. Thank you, Gareth. I hope your move went well. Don't worry about it. Gave $10. Dark Viper AU. I assume this is the actual Dark Viper AU. Either that or a very elaborate, dedicated troll. But yeah, Dark Viper AU, $100. Hope things turn. Wait. Hope things turn for the. Hope things turn for the better for you, mate. The shortest one so far, and the one that I fucked up the most. But thank you, Matt. I really appreciate it. I mean, like, if this is actually the Dark Viper AU, then thank you. But if it's a troll posing as Matt, then thank you. Anyway, I guess. Windows 11. How do you think Windows 11 is going to be? Do you think it's going to be like a fiasco, like 8 and 8.1 and 10, or what? Anyway, Windows 11 gave $3 via Patreon. Barty X became a $3 patron. Moy, I think that's how you say it, gave $5 and said, "Take care, man." Gabby T17, $10. Thank you, Gabby. Tommy Heisto gave $1.50 on Patreon, and John Sturts gave $1 via Patreon. And I think that's it. If I missed anyone, send me a DM on Twitter, and I will write it down and bring it up on my next broadcast. But I think that should be all of them. To the rest of you who are tuning in still, thank you. Yeah. Imagine donating to an e-beggar, JK. Hey, you know what? If you don't like it, fucking take it up with the people who invented capitalism. I'm forced to partake. If I could just live off the soil on my own terms and, not fucking starve to death or die of, like, preventable diseases, I would. So, believe me, I almost have principles. But, yeah. Take it easy, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.